Hello, everybody, who will eventually be here, hopefully. Today, I'm going to attempt. Actually, I'm making a new journal. So, um, I think I'll just wait till a few more people get here. More than just me. That would be great. So, let me. Go to my channel. Whoops. Go to my channel. And yes, we are live. Turn the volume down all the way. Good, there we go. Okay. Oh, flat. Alrighty. So, in the grand scheme of things, I am making a new journal, and I'm using this piece of. This was the backboard to a watercolor, a pad of watercolor, and it's 9 by 12. And so I measured. I wanted a 3/4 inch spine, so I measured in from the two sides. So I ended up with it in the center, and I just cut it down, but I didn't cut all the way through. I don't know if you all can see that. It's just scored almost all the way through. And then flipping it over onto the inside, I used masking tape along those cuts on the inside so that they didn't come apart. And I'm going to be putting material and everything in there as well. Now that's and it's really thick. I measured it, and it's 2 millimeters thick. This cardboard is, so it's very, very sturdy. So, excuse me, I have a frog in my throat tonight. This is packing paper from Amazon that I crumpled it all up and then flattened it out the best I could with my hands. So you end up with all these like little wrinkles, right? Well, then I took distress inks and also some archival ink and some inks that I mixed myself and sprayed them all on here and wiped the distress inks over so you would pick up all these like the little, from being crunched. And then I dried it with my heat tool. So this is what we have. So once it's finished, it's going to look like multicolored leather. So let's go ahead and put this on the cardboard. So I'm just going to use my, this is Fabri-Tac. It's good for everything. You can build a house with this stuff. It's really good stuff. And I'm going to put it on the front of the cover. If I can get this to come out faster, that'd be great. So, just this is not wanting to come out. The pin. So yeah, I just thought I'd give people a little bit of you know, see how I make my journals, and get in there. And this was the easiest way of doing it. And I had started it this afternoon, so I thought, what the heck, I'll just go live with it on Friday. So here we go. Okay. And this one's going to be a journal. I'm not going to be using any kits, you know, like from Etsy or anything like that. This is going to be strictly with stuff I find all over my desk. And just scraps of stuff that I've collected and things like that. So if you want to follow along, you probably will have all the stuff in your house that will be going into this journal. Which is awesome. And like I said, this is just the backing off of a notepad. And if it's not 2 millimeters thick, it doesn't have to be. You can use any piece of decent cardboard. You can even take a cereal box and double it up. And I'll give you the measurements here in just a second. There we go. Now it's falling. Alrighty. And I'm going to put it down in the middle of the paper so that it has about an inch all around. So after everything is said and done, this, like I said, this is 12 by 9. And each, because of the 3/4 inch spine it has, this is 5 1/4 and this is 5 1/4, still by 9. So the paper is then going to be like 13 by 11. Turn over. I need to bend around that spine without tearing the paper. Well, yeah, this is looking good. Okay. Don't want it like that. Oh, we're going to have to deal with that. Okay, at least it's not in the grooves. We do not want that down in the grooves. That'll hinder it from opening and closing. So, flip to this side. And I'm going to put some glue in the corners, all 4 corners. Like so. And then I'm going to fold these up into 90-degree angles. This is actually a lot easier to do it with paper than it would be material. Material takes a little a little finessing. But it can be done. And the journals that are made with fabric covers are just gorgeous. But either way, it can turn out really nice. Should have refilled this glue bottle. Yes, I'm out. I think I'm out. Okay, so now we're going to go around the edge. And this is just covering the journal so that it looks nice. sure those are nice and crisp little hospital corners. Come on, stick. There we go. Flip it around. Do the same. And you're kind of pulling as you're gluing this down because you want the front to be nice and flat. And do the ends. Like so. Here we go. Nice. Now we're going to go back in here and get some of these ledges that have lifted. Not that it's going to make a lot of difference because I'm going to be putting paper down inside to cover up the inside of the book cover. So it doesn't really matter. Hey, Joe. How you doing? Yeah, I do too. It's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites. I'm going to make sure these corners stay down good too. There we go. And we just want to make sure we kind of train that. There we go. Okay. Now for the inside. I decided this was just a little heavier than copier paper. It was just a mistake printout. And I took bubble wrap and some paint, just regular acrylic paint, and just made splotchy, kind of funky, you know, designs on it. But I think it may be a little bright for our cover. So I'm going to want to dull this down some. So I'm going to put my covers to the side over here. And we're going to ink this up a little bit. Just to dull it down because it's just too bright. I might even do a little stamping on the inside of this too, because it seems like it's a little, I don't know, plain. It just doesn't have enough interest for me. But again, it was something I just happened to have laying around on my desk. Yeah, that's looking a little better. You see how that dulled that right down. Now, let's see. Use that one. Use this one. Just drag a little bit of something. I need some stamps. We'll use them, or these are only two really good stamp sets I have. I'm going to use that one. Excuse me. These are Tim Holtz. I'm not exactly, I mean, I got these off of Amazon, but he is stamp making king, let me tell you. His stamps are amazing. So I'm going to use this one for sure. Let's use the butterflies too. What is that snapping I keep hearing? I don't know. So, this is a archival ink. It's a black soot. I'm just gonna run this over the butterflies. Sometimes I feel like using stamps is cheating. It really does sometimes feel like cheating. Let's see, I'll put those over here. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, let's do the other one. I love this one. It's so cool. It's got all this writing in it, and numbers and stuff. Big word Paris. It's one of my favorites. Put that one on this side, over here in the corner. Yeah, you got a little bit in there. I think this stamp pad may be going kaputz. I don't want that color. Let's try this one. Ground espresso. Oh yeah, that's much juicier. I probably need to get some re-inkers. More bottles of ink to re-ink these up. Put it at the bottom this time. I don't have a tendency to put pockets in the front of my journals anyway, so it does not matter. There we go. That's a little better. Put a little bit on the other side too, but not the whole thing. There we go. Alrighty. Let's see, now it has more interest. More interesting to look at. So, what in the heck is going on with that? We're about to have a storm, so if it's... I'll be using these again later, so I'm not going to put them away. So. So let's get a chopper and cut this directly in half. because half of it's going to go on one side of our journal and the other one's going to go on the other side. So we know this is, let's see, how long is this? I think it's 12 inches. Yeah, 12 inches. So I need it at 6. It's actually like 11 and a half. So let's see. So 5 1/4, I guess. Or 5 and a half. That'd be 5 and a half. I know how to do this. Fold it in half and get a halfway mark. More than one way to skin a cat. Okay, there it is. And just drag it over and bend it over the side. Yeah, it was 5 and a half. There we go. Alrighty. Now, we're going to want to put something down the center here to cover up this tape. And then this will go like this, and it'll hide the sides of whatever we put down the center. So, let's find some material that'll work right there. Oh. Do I have enough of this? This is some material I've had, and I keep using it because I can't seem to get rid of it. It just keeps hanging on. Alrighty. My material scissors. And we want it to be about there. And all these little fuzzy-wuzzies up in here. Okay. Now, nope, yep, it's gonna go this way. Okay. I don't need all this width, so I'm going to cut that down. And about right there. Alrighty. Fuzzy wuzzies off again. There we go. Come on. Get off of there. Here. Okay. And because this is fabric, we're going to use the fabric fix again. And I'm just going to take it down the center first. And I'm just going to smush it around my finger. Knock off all those little bubbles. Okay. Now flip these back. And we just put down some glue to hold them down. Anything like, see how the glue's coming through a little bit, shining through a little bit? That's going to get covered up by paper, so it doesn't really matter. The only swishing around you got to do is on the outside cover. Just smooth it all out. And this just helps keep the cover in one piece. so it doesn't come apart. Because we're going to be punching holes in the spine. There we go. They say not to bend it until it's dry, but I'm I'm impatient. So this is how it's going to look. There goes my microphone. This is how it's going to look when it's all said and done. Now we got to make sure these don't come into where it folds. So I might end up having to trim a little bit off of this. At least that one. Oh, both of them. Huh. I'm going to take a smidge off while this dries. Bring in the cutter again. And let's see. I'll do it over the inside. Both insides of both covers. And we're just going to take off maybe not even a quarter of an inch. Maybe an eighth of an inch. And that'll give us a little bit of wiggle room. Okay. Bring the cover back in. There we go. Yeah, that's much better. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. I'm going to try and get as close to the edge as possible so it doesn't lift. And I want to try to keep the same amount of distance all the way around. Yeah, there we go. That's good. That's good. That's good. Okay. Get this off. Put it down. That looks really cool. I'm really liking this. Heck yeah. Same with this side. Okay. And same with this side. I want to try and keep them level and in the same vicinity of the top and bottom and side. Looks pretty good. Now once this is completely dry, I'll go back and I will make sure that all the edges of this are glued down. You know, if I miss like a corner here or there, or if there's any little gaps and things like that. And yeah, it definitely helps. Alrighty, so this is looking good, pretty. So far, so good. Alright, so now that this is pretty much done, I want to show you some of the stuff that I have already made for the inside. Things are avalanching over me. Okay. This is some of the things I've come up for the inside of this journal. All this here that I've made are tags, and I made a master board with just scrap pieces of paper. And then these two, I used some texture paste through a stencil and then inked the raised portion. I used green grass or something like that on this one, and I used golden honey or something along that lines on this one. And then I backed them all in coffee stained paper. But the majority of them I just stamped on, kind of swirlies and things like that. There's the Paris stamp again. Like I said, we'll be using that some more throughout the journal. But all these little background pictures and stuff is just um, scraps from my desk, from pieces of paper that, I just had laying around. So I made a master board and then cut it up into tags, 2 pockets. That goes that way. There we go. These are going to be 2 pockets and then a belly band. So that is kind of our theme. So if you can see, that's why these inside papers were a little too bright. And I may even do more work on them because I wanted that toned down. They needed to be toned down because our colors are kind of very neutral, but yet have the yellow and the green and all the purples and blues, pretty much rainbow colors. So these aren't, it won't be so in your face. I don't want that. I need it to be very toned down, very muted colors is what I'm going for with this. So I'm trying to do that with whatever I find on my desk. So that's the, that's the plan anyway. So yeah, here we've got tags, 2 pockets, and a belly band already made, ready to go into the journal. Now, as for pages for the journal, I do have, boy, my fingers are gross. I did make like this one envelope. It's just hand painted with some markers, a little bit of gel pen. It's just a piece of paper. It slips into a matching envelope. But again, it's white, so we need to tone this down and maybe decoupage something over top of it. Here's another envelope I made in my envelope maker that promptly broke. Yeah, I need to get a new one. So we're going to be coffee staining this and making it a little more grungy, and then maybe decoupaging it, or decoupaging the flaps, gluing it to the paper, to a page, and then just having it like this, like a loose envelope that you can just, put something here to keep it close, and then just having it to where you can open it up in the journal on top of it. So that's an idea. And then I have just some regular junk envelopes, mailers and things like that, like return envelopes is something came in that. A couple of return envelopes, and then like I liked this one because it's more card-like. It's not like, it's thick. So I want to try and do something with that as well. We're going to have to trim the edge of that off because it was torn open at the top. So it will probably go into our journal this way with something to show through the window, and then we'll make a little notch and a card to put inside. And same will go with maybe with these. I'm not sure. I was thinking about taking these 2. Now one will look like it's upside down, but that'll be okay. Feeding one into the other. Come on, get in there. And then I'll have, I'll seal these this way, but you'll see how one will be on one page, and then it'll be like around the signature. And yeah, we might just slit these open and have cards in that as well, and then some journaling spaces here. And then I was thinking about using this envelope as a topper, cutting that down, and then using, having, which way is it? Oh, this one is open correctly. I guess we could use it a top then. And make it top flat, or like a top pull, put on the front of the journal. So we can decorate that up and make a card for that. And then this is just some lightweight cardstock that I have that I was going to suggest we coffee stain at least one. And see if we can't make at least one signature cover out of it. Where are you not low? Come on. And that will end up being like the journal, what do you want to call it? Yeah, signature cover. That's the word I was looking for. Now, when it comes to the other papers, let's see how this works. Oh, that'll work perfectly. Okay, so we have at least a journal signature cover. I know you're dry. Why are you fighting me? There we go. Okay. So we have tags and pockets and a couple of the envelopes we're going to be working on. All of this will go into our signature. And this is paper that I got out of a, it's just one of those stacks. You can get them at Michael's or Hobby Lobby or any of those places. Just scrapbooking paper. And then some of the pages were just, oh my God, they were ugly. So, not that I made them look any better, but this was just a checkered, like white, like a gray on white check. And I was like, it hurt my eyes to look at it. So I took a piece of napkin, just white napkin, and I Mod Podged it over top of it, laid the napkin down, and then hand painted the napkin after it was sitting here. So this is actually quite thick now, but it's also really sturdy. So we can use this for some, you know, we'll just use it in pieces. We're not going to same with this one. This was I don't know what I was doing with this one, but you can kind of see butterflies and cherry blossoms and some branches and things like that. That's what I was going for, but it didn't quite turn out. But it's the same way. It was some really seriously busy paper with polka dots, and I just So we did the same thing with that. So these papers here, these two, and then all these, we're going to use them for covering our little envelopes and whatnots and making our parts to go inside our journal. So if we're using all this for, you know, putting all these together, we still need pages. So what would we want to use as pages if we don't have a kit, right? Because kits are predominantly things like this that you basically print out. And this is by Angela Kerr, and it's the Floral Folly kit that I just got it. It's, oh my God, it's gorgeous. But she just did a challenge that she got from someone on her Facebook site, and they were like, okay, but what if you don't have kits? How do you decorate things? How do you put pages in a journal? How do you do these things? And she's like, I got you. So she did an entire video using nothing but what was on her desk, no kits involved. And I thought, okay, we can do that. I'm gonna make a whole journal. So we still have to finish up the journal cover because move all this because this is damageable. Okay, we don't want it to stay damageable. We want it to be protected. So enter the Mod Podge. Mod Podge. I always mispronounce it and say Mod Podge. So I'm going to take some Mod Podge and a brush, and I'm going to cover our little cover. So, get this up so I can see what I'm doing. And it doesn't take a whole lot. Thank goodness. Because I'm almost out. I need to get a new bottle of that too. But if you want to make your Mod Podge go a little further, but you end up having to use like 2 or 3 layers of it, just add some water to it. Excuse me, I need a drink. Alrighty. So, I'm just gonna. And what's nice about the Mod Podge also is it helps bring out colors. It really does. It's like if you couldn't see them before, when this dries, you will definitely see them afterwards. And it also makes little wrinkles, more wrinkles in the paper, which is really cool. Now I use this now. If you ever use or feel the paper from Amazon, the filling paper they use for packaging, one side's a little slick, and the other side's very rough. The outside of this is the rough side. The inside was the slick side, and they looked very different. Turn this around so I can see what I'm doing. I've done this one other time, but once I got done with the topper on the front, you really couldn't see what was underneath, and it was I was a little disturbed. I was like, oh man, all that work, and you can't see it. So I'm not going to make that mistake this time. I'm definitely going to be, less is more with this, so it shows off the work. That I did on the paper. So I hope everybody had a really good week. We had a crazy week around here with lots and lots and lots of rain. Excuse me. And we just got a brand new roof put on the house like 2 years ago. And it started leaking because of all the rain. But we have a really good roofing company. Um, we called, let them know. Didn't get to talk to a human being, but uh, we left a message, please call us back, blah, blah, blah. We're having issues. They didn't even call us back. They just showed up. And we're like, oh my goodness, yes, we need to look into this, blah, blah, blah. Guy got up there, young kid. He used a leaf blower because we have like a lot of oak trees. I mean, a lot. And he got up there and leaf blowed everything off. And I was like, whoa. I don't how many roofing companies, do that. But he caulked a bunch of stuff that he found along I think it was at the apex. And yeah, it was quite interesting. They really care about their reputation, which I thought was interesting. Oh, and if not sponsored, uh, their name is Barnaby, Barnaby, yeah, Barnaby Roofing, and here in Florida, they're really awesome. Bartleby, that's it, Bartleby. If you need roof, call them. They're awesome people over there. They do an amazing job. Okay. I think that covers it. No pun intended. You can see some of the yellow ink coming back out. It's almost like leaching it back out. So, not going to mess with it anymore. Hello, David. How are you? Oh, you like rainy weather? I'm not much into rainy weather. I mean, I don't mind it in small amounts, but when it just rains day after day after day. Alrighty, I'm going to set this aside, let it dry, and work some more on the other parts. Okay. Grab some of these thin papers, which are not the prettiest papers in the world, but they'll work. We can make them work. So, let's take, not this one, not yet. I think some of this stuff I'll have to do off camera. But this being the topper, I think we're just going for like a menagerie of like plants, birds, you know, that sort of thing. I'm not going to cut it off about there. Yeah. Now I'm going to save this because we can always use this as a pocket somewhere. And we will close this envelope. Okay. Close that up. Okay. Let's see, now we can make this a little pocket from the top. Let's see, where did I put my circle punch? Circle punch, where are you, circle punch? Don't tell me I put it away. Just when I need it, I start putting things away. I guess we can do it later. Definitely want to do it after we've got the front cover done. So I kind of like the pink. I don't know. Let's. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just use bits and pieces. I'm going to get my tearing ruler. And tear that off. Let's see, don't want any straight. Well, yeah, we do want some straight edges. One finger's work. It's not working with me tonight. I don't know why. You can always go over the window a little bit. You don't have to go right to the edge. This can be, you know, a little bit over the edge. It'll kind of hide that, which would be good. Again, we just want to try and cover up all the white paper. And collaging is fun. I love it. Oh, hey, Letigra, how you doing? Am I pronouncing that right? Is it Letigra or Letigra? I never know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. And is that your real name? Because if it is, that is awesome. Let's see. And thank you. I appreciate that very much. I don't need all of this paper here. As I use it, I'll just set it to the side so it's out of my way. Let's see. Come on. Okay. Whoa. Constantly smacking my microphone. So did you guys have a good day today? I hope you did. I really do. Hope you had a good day. I kind of had one of those days where well, the other day I had bought my dad for his 80th birthday. I bought him one of those molds, or you can make impressions of your hands, like a little statue. And it's taken me this long to get it made, but it came out awesome. I'm so happy with the way it came out. And my mom, she looked at it and cried. And but I still have yet to finish it. I gotta finish it, which requires a lot of sanding and filling little bubble holes and things like that. And yeah, it's gonna be a process. And then my sister goes, "Oh, would you make me one?" And I'm like, "Do you know how much work I put into that? Sucker's heavy, very heavy." Did not relish the idea of like having to make another, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And I'm just curious. I wonder if I can make another mold from the one I already made. Oh, in group. I'm not on. I'm not on Discord. I wonder why. I mean, I'm seeing chat. I can see it when it finally goes through. I wonder why you don't see it going through. It's always something with YouTube. I swear. I'm gonna put down here. Let's put down here. I want the grungy end. I mean, maybe I can get on Discord. Hold on. Oh, goodness. I can still see chat. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't know why they're not going through, honey. Um, you could come to my Discord if you want to. I can throw you an invite. Where I can find you on here. How come I don't have you on here? Oh, nope, there you are. All right, I sent you an ad request or a friend's request on, which I don't know why it doesn't do that automatically if you're in a group. I mean, come on. Okay. uh, okay. Let's see if I can go on Discord and accept my friend's request, honey. Then I can invite you to my Discord. Because that's the only way I know how to do it. To be perfectly honest, I am not good at Discord. Not good at all. So, thank you, honey. Let me get this glued down really quick. There we go. Now, if I can figure this out, let's see. How do I do this? Invite to channel. How do I do that? Ah, here you are. Hi. Oh my goodness. How do I invite you to my Discord? That's what I'm saying. I'm no good at this kind of stuff. My Discord. I want to. How do I do this? I am so terrible at this. Invite. Ah, I found it. Here we go. Okay. Now, I'm going to go into my stream chat. And send you an invite to my stream chat. If you want to sit and talk, we can sit and talk. There we go. I'm going to put another piece of this. Just a little piece. I want to over. There we go. Yeah, that'll look cute. I think I need something at the top there. I still need something along the top. Should I put another piece of this? Let's put a little bitty piece. And we'll take that off. Leave us that pretty little flourishy part in the middle. And oh yeah, that'll look cute. Okay. once I get this all put together, I think we should put some lace or something on it. And maybe a butterfly. Now, I do have to admit, this needs a background picture. Something in the center. But what? Oh, let's see. That'd be cool. Put a map in the back? I like that. Okay. Let's put the map in there. There we go. Oh, it fits perfectly. Yes. Awesome. Okay. And all we need to do is glue, glue. Okay. And then get in there. There we go. I can hear somebody talking. Hold on. Uh-huh. You muted yourself. That's why I can't hear you. Can you try talking to me again, Letigra? Just make sure it's not me. Okay, I'm going to take some ink. I'm going to ink up around the sides of this. Just want to make it look kind of aged, kind of old, kind of beat up. Okay. Now, let's... Oh, look and see. See how it's shiny? That's that Mod Podge, how shiny it looks. Okay. So, this will go on here like this. I think that's going to look cool. Now we got to make a card to put down inside of it. The map was just so that when you take the card out, it doesn't look weird with just all that blue weirdness. So, I think I'm going to just leave it like that. I'm not going to put a thumb hole in it. I'm just going to leave it flat out. But, we still need to do some more stuff to it. So, where did it go? Oh. Too far away. And that. Okay. Got my washi. Jello. And this is just a little bucket of fussy cuts. Of course, they're kids. Again, it's hard to get away from kids. There's a cute butterfly. One I already pre-cut out. A lot of these things we can make ourselves, though, which would be cool. Okay. So, now we want some, do we want to use some of that purple fabric that we used for the spine? That'll help get rid of it, won't it? Because it's just hanging around on my desk, and it's just, oh my gosh, taking up way too much space I could be using for something else. So, I kind of like the little fuzzy edge on it. We leave just enough of an edge around it so it's poking out. Hey, honey. I can barely hear you. I don't know why. Oh, that's because you're not on my computer. Oh, hold on. Now I know what to do. I'm an idiot. Oh, goodness. I'm just going to turn that one off and turn this one on. Oh, come on. Discord. There we go. Wow. I was like, why can't I hear her over my computer? Well, that's because I have you on the phone instead. Jeez. I never claimed to be a rocket scientist. How are you doing, honey? I can kind of hear you through the phone. Let me get this. Okay, that should be better. How are you, honey? Yeah, I can hear you fine now. Oh my goodness. Sometimes my brain it was not with me all day today. Okay, I'm gonna ruffle this edge here. At least I can still see my chat room too. That's good. Can you hear me?
Perfectly.
Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So how was your day today? Do anything fun?
Long and crazy.
Oh, really? What all happened?
So our washing machine broken
Oh
and
no.
broken, and then we had to go shopping for that. We had to do the kids' homeschool,
Uh-huh.
and we also had a wonderful battle with trying to figure out how to get everything organized in this household.
Oh my gosh. You've had a day. You have had a day. Gosh. I don't know how you cope, girl. 5 kids. Oh my God. You are a woman among women with that many kids and keeping your sanity.
It's a nice struggle for sure.
I bet. If everybody doesn't know Letigra, she has a YouTube channel here, and she is extremely talented artist, and I am blessed to call her friend. And she's also a collaborator with, and we're both on, and here goes my brain. It's a right out the window. I can't remember the damn name of the group. Oh my God. Oh, the artist connection. There we go. I knew it would come to me eventually. Oh,
Don't worry, I felt that. I felt
yeah.
that with you
Did you?
before.
Did you? Oh my God. At least it's not just me. Poor Mel. She's
Yes.
probably like, "Oh God, thanks, guys."
Okay, so it's pronounced Letigra.
Letigra. Okay, Letigra. And that is that really your real name, or is it just a YouTube name?
I wish I could say that was my real name because
Oh,
it's awesome.
it is awesome. It is very awesome.
It Tiger when I was actually a kid.
Really? And how?
And
What was
I
the story
had
behind it?
that I had that because my name is actually
You don't have to say it online. If you don't have to say it out, out loud if you don't want to.
it's okay. It's Leilani. It's fine.
Oh, that's pretty too. God, you're
And
lucky. You've got a cool real name and cool screen name. That's awesome.
and I was born the year of the tiger.
Oh, you're lucky. I'm a freaking goat. I always wanted to be. You're the dragon is what I always wanted. It's like, jeez, no, I got a goat.
In my videos, I call my family by their zodiacs.
Oh,
So yeah.
nice. That's cute. I like that idea. Is it a goat? Yeah, it's like I think it's like with one zodiac, I'm like a goat, and with another one, I'm a fish. But like in the regular zodiac, I'm a Leo. I just celebrated my birthday.
Oh, well, happy birthday.
Well, thank you. Yes, I'm now much older.
Well,
A lot older than I want to be.
but you have the personality of a woman with great, great imagination and fun.
Aw,
So it
thank
works.
you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
And I wish I was as crafty as you were.
Uh, it is one of those things where I've been doing this. Well, I've been an artist since I was 4, and both of my parents are artists. My dad is a cartoonist, and he can build anything. Uh, and then my mom is an oil painter and crafter. So I definitely get it honest from them. There we go. And yeah, I've just been doing it, doing it, and doing it. So it's like one of those things where you just look at something and go, I can turn you into something. I've done that my entire life. There we go. That'll be our topper. So let's see how it looks.
First off, that's beautiful. Next, my family is painters and
Ooh.
traditional artists alike.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Cool. Anybody go to art school, or is it just self-taught? Or
My grandfather, he was a wood whittler,
oh,
self-taught.
nice. My brother, my cousin's husband does that, and he taught his oldest son to do it too. And they are fantastic at wood carving. It's just crazy. I'm like, how do you do this? He goes, you just look at something and go, you look like you'd be a blah blah. I'm like, oh, like sculptors. Sculptors always say that. So I'm like, I get it. I get it. Okay. So need one more. Let's do this one. I want to do this one. I'm going to shave off that edge because it's all jaggedy, nasty. But yeah, I think it's best if it's so much. To me, it's fun coming from an artsy fartsy family, and it's because you guys can speak the same language.
Well, I have to say I'm a little bit jealous of my cousin.
Why?
So she finished college, and have you ever seen that show, OC Choppers?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Orange County Choppers. Yes, we used to watch it every week without fail.
You know that lady that was making all the designs on the choppers?
You mean with the paint jobs and all that?
Yep,
Yeah.
that's my cousin.
No way. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Yeah, those are some paint jobs. My late husband, he started his own motorcycle company when that was all the rage. And a couple of the bikes that we sold, I ended up having to do the paint jobs. And some things that people want on their bikes makes you scratch your head. Let me just put it to you that way. I never really wanted to do it, but I ended up having to do it. You want to be supportive, and be like, "Oh, I got you, babe, no problem." Ugh, some of the stuff, like I said, was just horrific. Did not want to do it. One tank on one of the motorcycles that I can remember was the guy wanted Jessica Rabbit riding a phallic shaped rocket into space. I was like, what? That is the weirdest thing I've ever heard. Okay. So I did it. Came out okay, but yeah.
Did did he at least feel good with it?
He loved it. He thought it was awesome. Rode that bike everywhere when he was home because he was a bus driver. But still, it was like, oh boy. I was just like, he wants what? It's like, okie dokie.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
at least some people have an imagination.
Oh, he did. That's for sure. It did come out. I mean, Jessica Rabbit came out great. I don't know about the rocket, but whatever. He loved it. I think it's just like any other kind of commission, where some people just come up with ideas and you go, why do you want that? But you can't really say those words. You have to just go with it and do it, whatever it is they want. I think that's why I don't do a lot of commissions. Just saying.
Yeah, I kind of stopped doing commissions a long time ago.
I think I've done two in my entire life, so it's not that I'm bad at them. I love, I liked doing the ones that I've done. Mostly they're pet portraitures that I've done, um, because I like doing those, and I do them for friends and family who, for Christmas presents and stuff like that. But
Well, I'm from the furry community, and furry people do not have very family friendly artwork.
oh, yeah, none of that is. It's oof. I yeah. It's kind of interesting that, to say the least, that NSFW stuff. But to each
Uh,
his own, whatever he wants to do, right?
like, I actually have always done this stuff when I was a little kid, but on the tame side.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, someone's like, "Hey, yeah, join this group. It's just for people like you and me." And I was like, "No, never heard of it."
No, it's not. Oh my gosh. Yeah, kind of. That's one of those things that makes you wonder what people are thinking. But as long as they're not hurting anybody, that's how I look at it. And they're not forcing it down my throat. you know, I've been described as a prude. I guess you could say I am. I don't know. But I mean, I don't mind what other people do as long as that's their business. It's not my business telling them they can't do it because it's not my cup of tea. You know.
But you have a great personality, a beautiful talent. How can someone consider you a prude?
um, because certain things that I believe in that don't go along with the community of people that I used to hang out with, they're very much like that free spirit, free love, free, do whatever. It's like, not my cup of tea. I'm a very used to be an extremely monogamous person. I've, since my husband's passing, have realized that I am, what's the word? My brain again. Um, I'm not into the things that a lot of other people are into, um, sexual orientation wise. trying to be delicate here without, so I don't get, if I was ever monetized, they would just immediately take it right back. Um,
No, I understand what you mean.
yeah.
I have a friend that's like that,
Mm-hmm.
but now that she's older, she's fallen out of it.
Mm.
And I honestly think most of the people who are, not everyone, are actually of the younger variety.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. It's, I don't know. It's never been um interesting to me. I've never been interested in it. So it's kind of like it was always felt forced, you know, from me, not from anybody else. Um, I always just felt like it was like, ugh, it was like it was expected, one of those things. And it's like, well, you know. And then I heard the word asexual, and I was like, excuse me, what's that? And now that's what I identify as. And it fits much better. And so I guess some people consider that prudish. It's like, how's it prudish? I'm not a prude in that sense. I just not interested.
Just because you don't flow with it doesn't mean that you're like hating
Right,
it.
exactly. And I'm not. Again, do what you want, whatever. Float your boat. It's not my place.
I think you're the third asexual I've ever met.
Really, there's a lot more people out there than I even imagined. Um, the first time I ever heard it was Echo Gillette. She has a YouTube channel. I don't know if you've ever seen her. She's an artist too, but she's she's really funny. Uh, she does all types of things like she made a couch out of a big teddy bear and all sorts of stuff. She's nuts. She's lovely. Very funny. But yeah, she's
Funny
asexual.
out of a teddy bear?
Yeah, yeah. She bought one of those like big like unstuffed like huge teddy bears like you could buy. It was hilarious. And then she stuffed it and bought she went like to Walmart and bought like all these bags of stuffing. It was like 30 bags of stuffing and then like half stuffed this and made a couch out of it. It was a riot. But yeah, she's a hoot. I need one more piece of paper. But yeah, she's apparently asexual. She's the first time I ever heard that word, and I had to look into it because it sounded like me, and I thought, okay, that's interesting. So yeah,
I like that. I like that how art really connects everybody.
it really does. It really does, and I have found so many friends here on YouTube. Um, just over well, September 5th will be my 5th year on YouTube. And I've got to meet some of the most amazing people. It just makes you just sit back in awe, and be like, how can you be such a nice person? you know? And they are. They're just amazing people. And I love every one of them. And I'm so glad that I am able to communicate with them in one way or another, whether it be through YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. It doesn't matter. Um, it's just fun to know that there's people out there who think the same way you do and accept you for who you are and don't judge you, which is so the opposite of what you hear about on the internet today. It's like some people can be extremely mean on the internet. I get it. But for the most part, I have not found that. I mean, I know there are some really nasty people out there that just comment and make nasty comments on people's videos just to hear themselves talk. But thankfully, I have not had that on my channel. I've Everyone who's ever commented has always been so supportive and so sweet. It's awesome. And I just love it. So I don't ever plan on leaving YouTube. That's for sure.
Well, I'm glad that I got to meet you through it.
Definitely, me too. I love our little group. I don't get on Discord as often as I'd like, unfortunately. Uh, but I do, I'm going to try and get on more because it's enjoyable. It's fun to talk with everybody. But I like talking versus typing because my fingers don't work very well when it comes to typing. And so that's why I don't get on as often as I should. But most of the time I'm on my Discord, I'm just sitting here just talking to myself.
Hey, I'll always be here for you.
Hey, I appreciate it. And anytime you're on Discord, just pop in and say, hey, what's up? Because like I said, I'll just be sitting in my little streaming room, chat room, and you can sit and talk or whatever. Because I
I'll
enjoy
keep that
that.
in mind.
Definitely. How's that look? Looks pretty good, huh? That's just a little envelope.
Just too pretty.
Huh?
Just too pretty.
Aw, thank you. Need to put something on the back side. Let's see. I want something different. Let's use one of these. This will stiffen this right up, too.
So, have you been crafty all your life?
Pretty much, yeah. The very first thing I ever made, I was 4 years old, and I made a statue of a little family out of blocks of wood. My dad was making some shelves, and they were just cut off blocks of 2x4s. And I just I just looked at them. I just started arranging them, and it looked like a father and a mother, a little child. And they asked me, well, "What's that?" And I was like, "It's a family." So they just glued the whole thing together, and they still have it. It's on the shelves in the living room.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, it's got my name on the bottom. 4 years old. I was like, yeah, I was 4 years old. But yeah, I guess it was after that is when they realized that I was the artsy fartsy type, and my parents used to buy me like paint by numbers and things like that. And when that got boring, they got me my own paints, and so I was about 6 when I really started painting. You would think I'd be better at it, right? Um, but there have been years where I didn't do anything um, arts related because I was, busy being a mom and uh, working as a nail tech and doing all these other jobs that I've had. And so I kind of put art on the back burner. And I wish I could have gone to school, but um, that wasn't in the cards. But it was one of those things where you just, after a while, it calls you, and you just are like, I must go and I must answer this call, you know? And when I was working at this one particular nail salon, the it was like a little indoor mall that was in, and the lady next door she had like a consignment shop where she sold antiques and things like that and books and whatever. And she needed a sign painted, and she was like, "Hey, are you paint, don't you?" I'm like, "Yeah, fingernails." And she was like, "No, seriously, I need a sign painted." And I was like, "Okay," and she wanted it like old timey looking, like it belonged to an old flea market or like an old farmer's market type of thing. And I knew what she wanted, and I was like, "Okay, yeah, I guess I can do that." And so she got me all the stuff to do it, and I painted it, and it came out so adorable. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, I love this. Here, take this money." And she threw $20 at me. I was like, "Pfft." Okay, that's cool. Because I didn't have anything out of the pocket. It was just her paint, her brushes, her stuff. And I was like, cool. And that's when I kind of realized I can make money at this. You know, it wasn't just something I could just do as a freebie for people, because I used to do that all the time. Oh, can you draw me a tattoo? That was always the bit. And I would always say, yeah, sure, no problem, and do it for free. And that's when I realized that I could actually make money doing this. So this lady who I used to do her nails, she came in and she said, "Well, can you paint like murals and things and like paintings?" And I was like, "Well, yeah." And she's like, "Well, my husband is the CEO of the electric company here in Nebraska." I was like, "Okay, I didn't know that." And she wanted a big painting of this elk for behind his desk, and wanted to know if I'd paint it. And I was like, "Sure." And it ended up being a 30 by it's like 30 by 24. It was huge, huge painting, and it took me like 3 weeks to get it done. And she bought the paints, the easel, the canvas, the works. She bought all of it. I didn't have to buy any of it because I didn't have anything. I was like a nail tech, well, not making a whole lot of money. So I finished it, and she was just floored by it and paid me $250. And I was just like, whoa, that's awesome. I can really make money doing this. So right after that, I went through a lot of stuff. It was just really terrible, all the different things I'd been through. And I'm not going to go into it, but I, again, put art on the back burner. And it seems like whenever things start to go south for me, I turn to art. So after my last husband died, which was awful, um, again, I turned to art. And this time though, I took it this. Let's go on YouTube, and here I am, 5 years later, and just you know, doing what I want to do, which is great.
That's beautiful. That's like the most gorgeous story I've ever heard.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I've never told anybody that story before, so
And now people could see it whenever they want to.
yeah, right. I'm just gonna ink these edges up so it looks old and grungy. I think I'm gonna make this just a floating pocket. That's why I put this on the back side, so it kind of covers it up. But yeah, and then we'll make a little tag to go inside of it. I think that looks cute. There's the back side. It's very textured. It's got a lot of texture to it. So, but what I think I might do is um, Mod Podge this too, because it never got Mod Podged. So it should, because that way it's not. It's a little rough to the touch. I don't like it that way.
I honestly would have never thought to do that at all.
What this? This portion, or
Yeah,
putting Mod Podge over it.
the idea of giving it texture at all?
Oh, yeah, it's because of that napkin. It's a just a regular white paper napkin that I painted roses and leaves on. That because this paper was so ugly. Oh, goodness, was it ugly. And I was just not into it. So, yeah. But when you do this, you can still have the texture. It's just not rough. It'll be nice and smooth, just like the cover.
I'm so glad you have this set to push to talk. But
Oh,
Lord, did I laugh so hard.
yeah, I don't. I hate the push to talk myself, but because I've always got my hands busy with something anyway. But yeah, that's so. If I have more than a few people in the room, they can't talk over each other because that can start problems.
I appreciate it.
Not a problem. So, what have you got planned for your next video, dear?
We are a little bit behind schedule, and my husband and I are supposed to now do two videos together. And I'm actually having my little boy, my second son,
Uh huh.
be in one of my videos as well.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. That is going to be cool. I can't wait to see that one. And your husband's a YouTuber too.
Not really, but he's my editor, and I just want
Oh,
people to know that even though he's an editor, he also has a talent beyond just editing.
right. That's awesome. So, what exactly? I mean, he's an artist as well, is what you're
Yeah,
saying. That's cool.
he specializes in backgrounds and stuff like that.
Oh,
Gorgeous
nice.
sceneries.
Very cool. Very cool.
And he says that my artwork's better because it has people in it and he can't do people. But I look at his stuff and I'm like, but you made a landscape in like
Yeah.
10 minutes. How?
He does it the Bob Ross way. I love Bob Ross. No, I mean, does he
He
use?
loves oils more than anything else.
Oh God,
He likes
notice,
oils.
notice me, senpai. I suck at oils. Did you see my video today? Oh Lord.
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh my gosh. I'm
It's
actually.
pathetic if you are.
I, it could be better. I mean, I mean, I'm still proud of it because it's like better than my last one, which was ugh. But my son loved it, so I sent it to him. But this one was like it it lacks realism, and I try for that, but it never comes through. I guess a cartoonist through and through, and there's no getting around it. Um, but yeah, if somebody can paint, you know, more realistic, I'm just completely in awe.
Yeah, he's a charcoal oil person.
Nice. I love charcoals. I like soft pastels too, and I never get to do them. It's just I do some really nice soft pastel work, and that's where I do a lot of my pet portraitures in and landscapes. I love doing landscapes. Um, yeah. So if he can do charcoal, that's I love charcoal too because it's very forgiving. You can actually erase it.
It's horrible. And then
He's did he say he's horrible?
he did.
Uh,
I was like, no, I don't believe you. And then
no.
he showed me some of his artwork, and I was like, you lied.
Yeah. Liar. Oh my gosh. That's just why do people I guess I'm just as guilty when, saying I'm not as good as other people, blah blah blah. I think all artists have that kind of a, gosh, I wish I was better or as good as so and so or when really, I mean, your own art, I don't think you're supposed to like it simply because it pushes you to strive to be better. If you were always liking on your own art, you'd be like, I'm perfect. Everything's good. I don't need to learn anything more than what I'm doing. But if you don't really like your own art, I mean, you might be going, well, it's not bad, but I can do better. So it pushes you, you know? That's how I look at it.
I have a saying that not enough is always good because no matter what you do, the second that it becomes enough, that's when you stop trying, you stop moving forward. So as
Totally.
long as it's not enough, you're going to continue going forward.
I totally believe that. I wholeheartedly believe that. And that is a perfect example. Yes. It's a very good explanation. Well, here's a little trick for everybody, too. If you have an old glue bottle that has just regular, like, Elmer's, this was Craft Bond, which is a little better than an Elmer's glue, and it gets to where it's, like, almost gone. Pour some regular Elmer's in it, add a little bit of water, and you've got Mod Podge in a squirt bottle.
What?
Yeah, pretty cool, huh? It's the same exact thing as Mod Podge. And all it is the Elmer's Craft Bond with like down to here, like right in here. You fill like half of it up with regular Elmer's and then the rest with water. You shake it really, really well, and you've got Mod Podge.
I love you.
I am full of art hacks. That's actually why I started the channel in the first place, was to do art hacks. And yeah, I've never got around to actually doing them. Which is I every once in a while I'll throw one in a video, but yeah, but yeah, it's good stuff, and it's fun to put it in a squirt bottle because then you don't actually have to use a brush. If you don't want to, you can actually put this on, just rub it out with your finger, you're done.
Give me your wisdom.
Notice me, senpai. Uh, Here's another one for anybody who watched my smart art video today. The brush cleaner that came with it, which I've got to be very careful. It's got water in it, but this little portion here that comes, the brush holder that you stick your brushes in while they're drying, which I can take those out now. I need to. Anyway, whatever you do, do not pick it up by this handle. It's not a handle. These things will pop out of these holes, and you will have this little bucket of water all over the floor. Okay? Always pick it up at the bottom. Then, on top of that, this little screeny thing, it has this little handle on top. When you're cleaning your brushes, I'll just show you with one of these brushes. When you're cleaning your brush, you try to get the paint out. Okay? I also had a glass jar of water on my table at the same time. It had clean water in it. This was for dirty water. The other one was for clean water. So when you're cleaning your brushes, if you have this sitting this way, you can't clean your brushes. You have to sit it this way so you can actually clean your brushes. I just little stupid things like that. I'll go, my brain just goes, okay. Stupid little things like that. But yeah, don't pick it up by the brush dryer. It will come out unless you have it spread wide. And even then, the weight from the water will make it where it'll pop out. And that's no good.
The lessons you learn.
Yeah. And I've learned a lot of them the hard way. So I'll make all the messes so you don't have to.
Where were you when I was pouring water all over myself just not too long ago?
Oh no. How did that happen?
A combination of me being klutzy and children.
Oh, that'll do it. It's like my mom, about, was it almost 2 weeks now? She was walking from the living room to the kitchen and had to step over her dog, and her dog stood up, and she had her hands full, and she went over and smacked just above her temple. Thank God it wasn't her temple. It was above her temple on the buffet in the dining room. I had to call 911 because she started going into shock, which was horrifying to watch. She was still quite alert and awake and, knew what was going on, but she had an egg on her head the size of a golf ball. And she ended up going to the hospital, and they did CAT scan of her head and everything. No brain bleed, nothing like that. Thank God. And it's like the EMT said, better the bump come out than go in, and that's so true. Uh, but she ended up with a huge black eye, and thankfully she's okay. But yeah, that was scary. Don't step over a dog for any reason, especially a big dog.
Oh, well, I hope that the recovery's going well.
Oh yeah, she's doing fine. It's just her eye's still purple 2 weeks later. But yeah, she's doing good. She's thankfully there was no damage done except for a big goose egg and a black eye.
I'm good. I'm very glad to hear that.
Yeah, I was scared for her because it was so close to her temple, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is not good.
I'd be scared as well.
Yeah, it was scary because I had been sitting outside having a cigarette, and all of a sudden I heard my dad scream my name, and I was just like, "Is that my father?" Because I had my earbuds in, so it was really hard for me to hear. So I went ahead and checked anyway, and sure enough, there she was, laid out on the dining room floor, and I thought, oh no. And I knew what had happened. He didn't even have to tell me what happened. And yeah, it was bad news, but she's doing great. She's doing great. She's not, and she had had a heart scare before that also, and she had to go and have a CAT scan of her heart done and everything, and that came back completely clear. So she's been cleared by all of her doctors. She is good to go. She can go out and garden and do whatever she wants, and she's been cleared for all of it. So we're very, very happy about that here. And yeah, things are going good finally. But here's what we've done so far today. We made this cover. I love the colors in this. I don't know if you can see. It's got blues and purples and yellows and greens and pinks. And it's just really nice looking. And our little topper that we made. It's just I'll make another card to put in that. And then this is another envelope that's gonna be going in the journal. Oops, upside down. And it's nice and sturdy. And yeah. So that's what we made tonight. And I think we're good until next Friday. But Tuesday night I will be on here again with Jen is Wild About Art, and we will be doing uh, Draw Some Live every Tuesday night at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So I hope you can join us, Tigra. That would be awesome.
Uh, well, considering I'm also Easter time, sure, why not?
That'd be great. So yeah, I appreciate you coming by and hanging out with me. It was awesome. I'm going to be putting links to your channel below when this goes as a video. So yeah, thank you, honey. Hope you have a great night.
Thank you very much, and I hope you have a beautiful night.
I appreciate it all. I will talk to you later.